This is Stephen Carter of Stress Solutions, LLC. This is a recording of a webinar that was done for my meetup group, the Baltimore and Columbia Energy Healers Meetup. You can find that meetup at meetup.com/healers, and you can learn more about Stress Solutions, LLC, my company, at EFT-MD.com.
My name is Stephen Carter, and I am your host for this Empower Your Speaking Confidence and Influence with Positive EFT and other energetic tools. Our outcome, when we are done, you will own the skills and motivation to communicate with maximum effectiveness. And there will be a variety of different ways that we do that. 3 primary windows that we'll be looking through. The 3 C's of communication: clarity, confidence, and connection. Those are the major areas that we will be looking at. Clarity. Who is your audience specifically? And your audience can be made up of one person, a friend that you're planning to call and have a simple conversation with just to catch up, or it could be several hundred people in a formal meeting, or anything in between. To focus your message, you begin with who your audience is. If it's a group, get a sense of the group. Talk to the person who's invited you, get a sense of the group, who they are, what they're about, what their interests are. You want to specifically tailor your communication to those who are in your audience. You want to know what your outcome is. What does your audience need to see, to hear, to know, to experience, to do? What is the purpose of your communication? Your structure of your conversation or your presentation, the who, the what, when, where, why, and if relevant, how. Work to make your key message, bring it to one sentence. If it's at all possible, to get the most clarity so people will understand what you're sharing, bring it down to one sentence. How will you communicate? Are you going to go face-to-face, telephone, presentation, email? Whatever that is, this is going to help you clarify how you will deliver your message, and that is part of the clarification process as well. When you're planning to identify the key message, there's 2 things to keep in mind. One, there are 2 broadcast signals always going on in everyone's mind. The first is WDTM FM. What does this mean for me? And then secondly, what's in it for me? Until the first question is answered, what does this mean for me? And people feel safe that it's either neutral or if it's a problem, you're never going to get to what's in it for me. So you want to address first, what does this mean for me, the specific audience member, and then what is in it for me? If it's an opportunity, a proposal, an idea that you're pitching, what is in it for the individual people who you are pitching or talking to? Clarity, tune your message. Here's a structure that I have used thousands and thousands of times over many years. It's the what, so what, and now what. This is a proven way. It's a simple way to frame your message. Here's an example. Our July meetup gathering is about learning how to empower your speaking confidence and influence using simple energy methods. You'll learn skills you can apply right away to gain better communication skills, be more influential, and create better relationships. Sign up at, and obviously our meetup URL. The what is the announcement that our meetup gathering for July is about how to empower your speaking and confidence and influence using simple energy methods. What does it mean for me? There's no risk here. There's no danger, so we can go right to the WIIFM. You'll learn skills you can apply right away to gain better communication skills, be more influential, and create better relationships. The now what is very simple. Go sign up at our group site. Confidence. We've got our message clear. We're clear on who we're communicating with. We've got our key takeaway message down to one sentence. We may choose to use the what, so what, now what. How do we build confidence? This is the second C. There's three different ways that we're going to use energy methods to build your confidence as a presenter or as a speaker. And I don't care whether this is a one-to-one communication, a conversation that you're planning to have, or whether, again, it's a formal presentation to a large group. I did a training for a lady, very mature, very professional lady. I asked her, is there any communication that is coming up that you have a concern with? And she said, well, yes, I have one gentleman that I need to ask him for something, and I'm very reluctant to do it. I haven't been able to actually make that call. So we ran through a one process or a one cycle tapping of positive EFT, which we will do here in a moment. She said, yeah, I feel better. I feel calmer. I'm ready to make that call. I got an email message from her about 2 weeks later, and she said, thank you ever so much. She said it was wonderful. I made the call. I asked for exactly what I wanted. I had no negative feelings, no resistance at all. And he was absolutely gracious, open, and gave me exactly what I wanted. And that happens when we ask with confidence. She was confident in her preparation. She knew exactly what she wanted from him. She prepared herself energetically to do that. She did it, and she got exactly the outcome that she wanted. So we're going to look at positive EFT. This is, by the way, not an EFT training. So if you're not familiar with EFT, just kind of go with the flow here, because there will be two other methods that you'll be able to apply to get the confidence that you need in every speaking situation, and that is the butterfly hug tapping and power posing. If you know EFT, great. If you don't, that's equally great. For those that do, you may not have heard of positive EFT. Positive EFT was developed by Dr. Sylvia Hartman, who is the chair of the Guild of Energists. She developed this in 2013. She developed it as an advancement in classic EFT and energy EFT, which is also her creation. Classic EFT, much like classic therapy, focuses on pathology. It focuses on what is wrong. And the underlying concept in focusing on what is wrong is that if we can identify what's wrong and we can neutralize it, then all of the problems that flowed from that early trauma or the situation that is creating the energy blockage, everything goes away. And sometimes that is exactly the case. In many instances, however, the problem really is life. There could be countless numbers of trauma, countless challenges, countless conversations or statements by people in authority who said, well, you're not that smart, you're not that good, you're not going to be successful, etc. So what positive EFT does is it focuses on the here and now and what it is that we want here and now and what we want for ourselves in the future. It's focusing on choosing how you want to feel, how you want to be, how you want to perform right now, ongoing, rather than what caused the problem or what caused the problem emotions, the energy blocks. Positive EFT is very much present and future focused. What we do is we choose an empowering energy form that's needed for the particular job. In this context, we are talking about presentation. We're talking about communication. We're talking about becoming the best speaker, the best communicator that you can become. To apply positive EFT in this context, your positive energy form will be something like confidence, a felt sense of competence. It can be compassion. For example, I've talked to people who have been incarcerated. Before I go into that environment, I need to make sure that I feel compassion, that I have compassionate connection to the individuals that I'll be talking with. So for me, a positive energy form in that circumstance would be compassion. We're going to tap through the heart and soul protocol for positive EFT. If you are familiar with other protocols, those protocols are equally fine. This is the protocol that was developed by Dr. Hartman. It is the one she teaches, and it's a very good way of applying EFT. Let's have a go at going through this experience. You begin the heart and soul tapping protocol by placing both hands over your heart, one on top of the other. Whether it's left over right, right over left, it doesn't matter. Feel that connection. Feel that touch of the heart. Allow yourself 3 comfortable breaths, and then you're going to say in mind or out loud, I choose to bring your chosen energy form through my energy system. For our purposes here, we're going to choose confidence, confident energy. We're going to want to feel confident in our preparation. We're going to want to feel confident in sharing our message, confident energy. We take a breath and we say, I choose to bring confident energy through my energy system. And I'd like for everyone on the call to join me and experience this. Place your hands over your heart and just say out loud if you can, or in mind, I choose to bring confident energy through my energy system. Really feel that sense of confident energy, feel that commitment to do so. With EFT, we tap Meridian Points, and we're going to start at the very crown, and we just tap 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and then hold that point. Take a breath in, confident energy. Move to the third eye. Tap at the third eye and feel it's just the slightest of touch. Feel that there's a little energetic connection going on there. Confident energy. Hold. Exhale, drop the shoulders, relax, smile. Tap the eyebrow position right at the bridge of the nose. Tap that. Hold, breathe. Repeat confident energy. Slide the fingertip down to the side of the eye. Tap there. Confident energy. Good. Go under the eye. This is the gateway to the stomach meridian. So take that in-breath, breathe into the solar plexus a little deeper than usual. Smile and say confident energy. Good. Underneath of the nose, confidence, confident energy. Underneath of the lip, tap, confident energy. My gift to myself and to others, confident energy. Hold. Go to the collarbone point, and if you don't know where that is, just tap across the upper chest. Confident energy. Good. In the interest of time, we're going to skip the finger points, but if you were going or doing a full protocol, you would begin at the thumb, the first finger, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, tiny finger, and then the collarbone. Let's go ahead and tap the karate chop point. And then hold. Confident energy, smile, bring both hands back to the heart position. Drop the shoulders, smile, and then give thanks for this new, powerful, confident energy. If you would, make a note on how your feelings have changed, what you experienced with this. And when we open the line for questions, I'd like to have you share those. Here is a very simple alternative. Obviously, if you're not familiar with all of the tapping points, it may be a challenge to remember each of those meridian points. With the butterfly hug tapping, you don't have to remember these points. You can simply bilaterally activate the left and right parts or sides of the body. And what you're doing with this, each time you touch the right side, for example, you're activating the activity in the left side of the brain. And when you tap on the left side, you're activating activity on the right side of the brain. And this is very similar. This is the actual kinesthetic application of a method called EMDR, which is short for eye movement desensitization reprocessing, which is a mouthful. EMDR is a recognized therapy. It's used extensively for trauma work, and this is a way we can all apply it, whether it's for trauma or otherwise, simply to lower our stress level, let energy flow more freely, and to dissolve anxiety and create a sense of confidence. So we again choose the positive energy form that we are working with. And again, confidence, we take our right hand and we place it on the left bicep. We take the left hand, place it on the right bicep. And then we simply tap back and forth. Confident energy flowing through my energy system. Confident energy. Try that. The right hand on the left bicep, left hand on the right bicep, and just tap. And you can actually slow the heart down with this as you tap. You can slow the tapping down. You can speed it up if you're looking for more energy. You want to energize yourself. Stop. Bring the hands back together, hands over heart. Allow 3 loving breaths. Repeat confident energy and let that flow. Feel that in your body. Good. Now here is a variation of the butterfly hug, and you will see both versions shared on YouTube and so forth. Both are equally good, and here's a short little video that explains or demonstrates this other alternative. There you have it. Finally, power posing. This is an absolutely marvelous way to really bring through positive energy, positive feelings in your body. It's a wonderful addition to Positive EFT. It is an evidence-based method to create sky-high confidence and peak brain-body states. It was developed by a psychologist at Harvard by the name of Amy Cuddy. If you go to YouTube and you put in power posing Amy Cuddy, you will be taken to her YouTube video for her TED Talk. Her TED Talk has been downloaded multiple millions of times. It is the second most watched TED Talk video on YouTube. She lays out the science behind it, why it works, how it works, and the benefits. First of all, your posture, your physical stance reflects your internal state. You can change your internal state by adopting or adapting a pose that is consistent with the internal state, e.g., courage, confidence, that state that you are choosing. The science here is very clear in that the benefits of just power posing for 2 minutes actually create physiological changes in your body that can last for hours. You simply adopt a pose that is consistent with the internal state that you're choosing to experience. And if you think about people that you know, people that you've seen, when they walk into a room, their energy is palpable. You know how they are feeling. You know their mental and physical state. If they're walking with their head up, their shoulders back, their chest open, a smile on their face, they are exhibiting the physical indicators of courage, of confidence, of competence. They're feeling great in their own skin. On the other hand, if someone walks in with their head down, their shoulders hunched over, eyes kind of unfocused, you know immediately that that person is not at the top of their game. And here is the amazing part. We can choose to assume the position or the power pose, and the physiological felt sense in our body and our brains come along for the ride. To power pose, you simply choose a pose that exhibits an internal state of confidence, of power, of success. Place your hands on your hips, your head up, your chest open, feet slightly more than shoulder width apart. Put your head a little higher. Put your nose up in the air. And this is a good thing. Smile and simply hold that position. Now, I invite you to stand up and assume this position. And we're not going to go 2 minutes. We'll just go a few seconds. Stand up, hands on hips. Now, I'd like you to fill the room with your energy. Really get a sense that you're in charge of the space that you're in. You are powerful. You are in charge. Feel that. Bring to mind a memory, a recall of a situation that you experienced in your life where you were just unstoppable. Maybe it was a special game if you played sports. If you're a musician, maybe it was a special experience that you had in a concert that you played in. Maybe it was a speech or a presentation that you gave. Maybe it was just saying something that hit home to another person that really moved them, or something that was said to you that really moved you. Close your eyes, feel that memory. See what you saw then. Hear what you heard. Feel what you felt. Open your chest even more. Smile and just allow that energy literally just to flow through you. This confidence, this beautiful, positive energy of confidence. You just crossed the finish line. Yes, that victory pose. In virtually every race, what happens when the winner comes across that finish line? He or she will raise their hands in celebration. This is built in to our neurology. It's not something that we have learned. It's something that is inside of us. Yes, we are victorious. We raise our hands in victory. The 2 minutes of power posing will create the positive changes biochemically with the markers and emotional states, and these changes can last for hours. Connection, how to connect energetically and emotionally with your audience. We've talked about clarity, getting clear on who your audience is, what your message is, how you'll deliver it. We've talked about creating confidence, creating that sense of confident presenter, confident communicator, confidence in our own bodies. Now we're looking at the third C, connection. How to connect energetically and emotionally with your audience. It's not enough simply to use the what, so what, now what in just a non-emotional way. We want to connect with the people that we're talking with. And here are some ways to do that. Connection before speaking. And it doesn't matter, by the way, whether we're speaking through a telephone conversation with one person, whether we're on a webinar like we are here, whether we're talking to a group of people. First, after you've created your internal sense of confidence, you've grounded yourself, fill the room with your energy. Fill the room. I'd like you to just put your hands out to your side and literally extend the energy out of the palms of your hands all the way to the wall on each side. Bring the hands forward, extend the energy out in front, extend the energy out behind. Extend that energy out. Fill the room with your presence. And feel that energy filling the room. You own the room. You own the space that you're in. Before speaking in person or by phone, stop, allow a long cleansing breath, and within mind or out loud, give voice to your intention to connect in a positive, loving, energetically authentic way. This is not about acting. This is about being you, being energetically authentic. Touch your heart and imagine a pure white light flowing from your heart into the body and the heart area of the person or persons you're about to talk with. Connect at the heart level with the people, your audience, the people that you're planning to communicate with. If you can greet your audience members as they enter the room, that's great. You can't always do that, but if you can, what you're doing is building personal relationships before you're actually on stage. Greet the audience members as they come in. Heart-to-heart connection. It only takes a fraction of a second to do that. Smile, say thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And if it's several minutes before you're speaking, thanks, I'm so glad you've decided to participate with us. What is it you would like to hear about this topic? You may get an answer, you may not, but if you do, make sure you incorporate that into your presentation. Get the gentleman or the lady's first name, and then use that as you're talking, as you're presenting. Say a question that came up from Mary, and this was a very, very insightful, excellent question. Repeat Mary's question, look at her in the audience if you can find her, and then answer the question. You've connected with Mary heart to heart. You've connected with the group through Mary, and it just is a beautiful way to add energy and authority when you're giving a formal presentation. Returning to connection preparation just before speaking, allow another comfortable breath, center, ground, fill the room again with your energy, smile, and then begin. And again, this works whether you're on the phone with one-on-one conversation with an individual on the other side. It doesn't matter. When you're speaking, keep your head up, make eye contact, look at a group in the audience, talk to that group for 2-3 seconds, shift your gaze to someone else on the other side, shift your gaze again in the middle. If it's a large audience, if you look slightly over the head or the heads of the people in the audience, it will appear as though you're looking in the eyes of each of the people in that section that you're looking at. If it's a smaller audience, make the connection heart to heart. Again, these are people. Head up, eye contact, heart-to-heart connection, and smile. Talk to your audience, not the computer, not the projection screen. How many times have you gone to a meeting, a conference, where the speaker has got his slides completely filled with all the things? It's an outline, and he's reading to you from the slides. And he's got his back to you so he can see the slides up on the projection screen. This is not a good way to connect to your audience. If you want to make a connection to that screen, great, you're doing great. But if not, then do something else. Talk to your audience, not the computer. How many times, again, we'll see people who are just locked in on that computer screen. And if they have notes underneath of their slides, that's even worse, because they have to look down to see the notes. If you're talking by phone, create the image in your mind of the individual that you're talking with, or even use a photo. Now, if this is someone you know well, obviously that's not going to be a problem. But if it's a business associate, or if it's a cold call or a semi-warm call, see if you can get a photograph of that individual. Look on LinkedIn, look on Facebook, see what that person looks like, because that will help you focus on who you're talking to. If you're standing, feet shoulder width or slightly wider, put your feet forward straight out. Why? Because if you place your feet out, if the toes are facing at a 45-degree angle outward, you are energetically weak from a kinesthetic point of view and an emotional point of view. Kinesiology, applied kinesiology is very clear on this. If your feet are forward and you do a muscle test, you're going to test strong. If your feet are facing outward and you do a muscle test, you're going to go weak. It's a physiological experience or way in the body that says, I want to be straight on. I want to have my feet forward. And that is when I am strong, when I am powerful. Speak and move in harmony with your message. Get feedback. When you're talking to an audience, what do you see? What do you hear? What's the feedback that lets you know you're hitting home, or that you need to make some adjustments in the way that you're delivering or the information that you're delivering? Feedback is truly the breakfast of champions. If you're speaking one-to-one, your stock, your rating as a communicator will go miles high if you listen intently without your mind being busy about what am I going to say. No, be a partner, be a listener. Listen with a quiet mind. Let the individual finish his or her comments or statements. Wait 2-3 seconds before you speak. If it's appropriate, make sure that you restate what the person said. And that's simple to do. What I hear you saying is, and then give the one-sentence summary of what you heard. And if it's correct, the person will say yes, their head will go up and down. Or if it's not correct, then they'll make the necessary changes or adjustments. And they may say, well, that's not really what I meant. What I really meant was, and then you've helped them gain clarity for their message. After you speak, be available for post-presentation and informal conversations. This is where, if you're a business person, if you're a consultant, a coach, this is where the business gets done. This is where you connect with the people who come up to you after you've talked, and they want to share their story. Now, you have to be careful and professional, because there are some whose story will never end. And the way that you handle that is after you've given them a minute, 2 minutes to identify what it is that the question they have, or that they'd like more information or whatever. You hand them a business card and you say, your story is amazing. I'd love to talk with you, but got other folks that we need to talk with here. Here's my business card. Please call me so I can give you my undivided attention and we can help you deal with that and make sure that you're successful in whatever you're pursuing. Post presentation is where the money is made if you're a speaker or whatever you're offering. That's where the money comes. If it's appropriate, thank the host, the sponsoring organization, the key people with a written letter of appreciation. How unusual is it to get a formal letter in the mail today? It just stands out. It calls to the person who receives it with all good things about the writer. It establishes you as a professional, as someone who thinks enough, as the old greeting cards, you cared enough to send the very best, or something like that. But write a formal letter of appreciation. Again, this is not always necessary. It depends on the circumstance, but if it is appropriate, I suggest you do it. If you've gotten feedback from an audience member, a coworker, again, depending on the circumstances, make sure you express your appreciation. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. So, what's next? First of all, I recommend that you identify what you want more of in your life and apply the positive energy forms. Applying those forms can be a powerful way to create a happier, healthier, a more successful life. Here we've been talking about communication, but choosing how you feel, choosing how you flow energy through your system is, in my experience, the absolute number one pathway to success, to happiness, to feeling good, to improved health. That is my experience. Positive EFT is it's an effective way to identify and apply the exact energy forms for that happier, healthier, and more successful life. I also suggest that you go to one of my websites, EFTMD.com, click on the videos page. There's lots of good resources there on stress. There's a resource on positive EFT and beyond, a video that I created, and that goes into a lot more detail about the specifics of applying positive EFT, power posing, and some other methods as well. And if you are so moved, so inclined, you can take advantage of one-to-one video training to become a positive EFT facilitator and member of the Guild of Energists, which is the professional organization. It's the very first organization that offered certification in EFT. Visit the Learn Positive EFT page on my website, and you can get additional information there. By the way, you have access to all of these slides in the slide deck. The links for the Keynote version, the PDF version, and PowerPoint versions all are in the notification that I sent to each of you through the Meetup organization. To recap, the 3 C's of communication: clarity, confidence, connection. That leads to the outcome. You own the skills and motivation to communicate with maximum effectiveness. And applying positive EFT energy forms can be a powerful way to a happier, healthier, more successful life. And again, the link to learn more about positive EFT is in the slide.
This is your host, Stephen Carter. Thanks again for listening. If you're listening to this on YouTube, if you like this webinar, how about giving us a thumbs up? If you'd like more information about EFT, positive EFT, visit our website at EFT-MD.com. That's EFT-MD.com. Thanks again.